Hello everybody, welcome to the month of March, and the beginning of a new month is always kit building time for me. I participate in two kit clubs, and the first one is Shimelle's Best of Both World kit project. She provides a list of shopping supplies, and you can choose to buy her kit as is, or what I usually do is shop my own stash. However, as I'm filming this, it is currently February because she always posts her new kit ahead of time so that you have time to shop. I was intrigued by the colors of this kit, and I've been working with a lot of soft pinks and soft blues, and this kit had more corals and especially these navy tones, and I really like the idea. And here's that coral I mentioned. So let's go through each piece in the kit, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking so then I can show you after this part what I actually ended up doing. So I'm going to go a little fast through this. Here are all the pieces in the kit, and this offers some of the look at the colors that she had going on in here. Now, the first thing I noticed was coral and navy, but she actually had more orange tones going on rather than coral, even though that first piece looked corally to me. But I looked through all of the pieces, and here's an example that was much more orange than what I was looking for. And she offered some embellishments like a stencil and a few other items that I skipped through, alphabets, and a few chipboard pieces. Now those were out of stock, as was a couple of the pieces of paper, so I definitely needed to find alternatives for that. And here I am looking for alternatives, and I looked both by manufacturer and by colors. Here is a deeper look at how I looked by colors. The Scrapbook.com has a color tool. If you scroll down to the bottom, it actually shows you colors in that product, and you can click on a particular color and it'll come up with everything in their shop that kind of matches that color based on however they choose to match those colors to products. And anything that interested me, I added it into my cart. Now initially my cart was way too big, and that's just fine because I know how to trim things down. So from my cart, I would open up in separate tabs items that were similar. So I had both of these kind of florally feeling items, and they were both in a coral color. So I could take a look at them and decide which one I wanted to keep in my cart. And I did this for any duplicate or excessive items, like I had way too many pattern papers. And then I went ahead and shopped and had the box shipped to me, and it arrived in plenty of time for me to film this. So here is what I ended up with. I have a pack of florals, and that's a Jen Hadfield product. I have that cardboard flare, chipboard flare from Pink Fresh. I did find some enamel dots that had more coral tones to them, which is what I wanted. I did find those chipboard shapes, but in a different color. I got gold since the alphabet was gold, and since this kit had a stencil in it, I decided to add in some gold Nuvo drops because I've been having a lot of fun playing with those. I also just happened to find a roll of washi that had coral and navy tones in it, so I threw that into my cart. And this pack of cardstock is a Simple Stories product, and it actually popped up when I was searching for navy colors in that color picker section. And this kit actually ended up having navy, coral, and yellow in it, which ended up being my color palette as I was going through this because Shimelle's products had some yellow in it, so I went with those three colors. Now the pack did have extra colors in it, which I will keep in this kit just because, and we'll see if they come into use. Now let's go through each pattern paper, and I will show you the brand of the pattern paper, and hopefully you can see it okay. Some of these, the back sides worked fine, so these first two were in the coral realm, and as you can see, the corals aren't perfectly matched, and that's the problem with shopping online. That's one of the benefits of buying a kit from a kit company, because they actually shop for those things in person most of the time and can coordinate those colors a little bit better. So it is what it is. And these next three sheets of paper were my yellows, and I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about. Now all of these yellows are different tones. We've got a cheerful yellow, we've got a mustardy yellow, and then we've got kind of a grungy yellow, and so they're all different, and I'm just going to be okay with that. So this piece also had a navy on the other side, so I thought that was great. I don't intend to buy papers that work best on both sides, but it often happens that way, so that one's good. And then we're moving into the navy patterns, and this was a similar piece from the same collection as a piece in Shimelle's kit, but it feels slightly less cutesy. It's still cutesy, which is not really my style, but it's less cutesy, and I really like the moons and stars on it, so I'm hoping to use those motifs. Now, I had that other piece of kind of tile pattern paper, and I liked the extra colors they had in there. It worked really well. These two sheets are from Shimelle, and I liked both sides, so I got two pieces. This was one that I thought those little worms were coral on, but when I get them home, they're a little more reddish pink, so again, it is what it is. And this pattern paper was from the girl collection that went with that moon and star pattern paper that's the boy collection. It's a baby line, which is why it's cutesy. But it looked more coral online than when I got it in person. And again, it's imperfect shopping online. Now that house print, I believe, was in the Shimelle Choices, or maybe it was from last time, I can't quite remember, but I liked it, so I added it in here. It had some colors that worked. And then that cut apart sheet had corals and yellows in it, and blues that could lean towards navy. I'm stretching it a little bit, but I'm going to go with it. And then this piece is a specialty piece from the Shimelle collection. I think that's the Never Grow Up collection, and I really like the color wheel look to it. And it's actually a die cut, pop apart die cut piece, and that'll be fun to play with. She used it in a kit previously. Now this piece was a piece I added in that I had at home, as well as a secondary alphabet which has a coral set in it, and Shimelle had an orange, no, I think it was coral. She had a coral set in there too. So anyway, I added the secondary alphabet to my set because I like to work with more than one alpha. And then here you see me adding another piece of pattern paper in there. That was something that I just missed when I was filming, and so I added it in for these close-up photos, and I will leave you with those photos. And if you come back next week, I will be using this kit in a process video, and later this week I will have another kit build as well as a product feature where I play with one inexpensive crafty item and see how many ways I can use it. So please join me in my next videos. I will see you then.